What's up, family? Hi, everybody. Okay, it's good to be here again. So, as I said in the chat, our amazing tech guru / paladin, Killian, is off for the week on an adventure. So I do want to spend this first little bit of time just checking our sound, checking things out. I know my friends are hearing me in the Discord, but chat, if you could sound off, how does everything sound? And I would like everybody in the chat, I'm going to go through one by one, introduce your character, give some sound so that we know if everybody can hear you. So why don't we start with Robin? Who's your character?
So I'm Bula, the half-orc who likes to eat and rage.
Okay, thank you. She sure does. John Paul?
I'm John Paul. I play Eidos Nawat, a very fancy boy sorcerer who's too big for his britches.
Thank you. I feel like we should do this much more often. Do some little character intros.
Yeah.
This is great.
That was fun.
Okay, Bobby, who are you?
Hello, my character's name is Marroway, and he's a really sleepy prince from a Fey domain that's been taken over, and last time we saw him, he was passing out on the beach, away from everyone else.
He sure was.
I hope he's okay.
Yeah, maybe I killed him without giving you any chance or rolls. We'll see.
That would be crazy.
Wouldn't be the first one I've killed. Sorry. And that is a perfect segue to Melanie. Who are you playing tonight?
Oh no, I cannot hear you. I'm gonna assume you guys can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm talking.
Did she just read my lips to know that?
My character is Serafina, and she is very vain, and she has recently gone through a really crazy transformation. She now has a skin condition where she has lots of scales, and she's trying to come to terms with that. And I'm gonna take a pause while I try to fix my audio.
Yeah.
Don't call on me.
Your lip reading was impeccable there, because you jumped right in for not being able to hear us. Okay, I'm seeing that I needed to turn a couple volumes up, so I did that. Let us know if you truly can't hear my characters, my players, as we go, and I'll try and keep an eye on the chat to see as much as I can what I need to adjust. But hopefully this all works out well. Without Dane here, we are lost on an island of technological unsavvy, dissavvy. What's the opposite of savvy? Dissavviness. But we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it.
I just call it being dumb.
Being dumb. Your DM is a great DM and not good at OBS because it's been a while. Okay. So, welcome, Fae and Foes, to episode 64 of Dion Rising. Melanie, can I get a little, if you can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you guys now.
Beautiful. This right here is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play campaign brought to you by the Knights of D20. Hi, friends. It's good to see you all. Ugh, I love playing Dungeons & Dragons. Like I said, we have no announcements tonight, except that our tech guru, Dane, is away on his adventure. So let's just jump right in here. Thank you all for joining us as we embark on an epic adventure in the world of Dion, where heroes rise, dangers abound, and legends are born. Players, dice at the ready. It's been a minute since we got to roll dice together. I'm stoked. Okay. Last time we came off 3, maybe 4 sessions of straight combat around Lake Kizdanar, defending the dams, the seals of the Leviathan, whose name escapes me at this particular moment. I don't have it right in front of me. Regardless, you have fended off the Leviathan threat for now. However, in that fight, in the last moments of it, when you were finally storming the last dam, preventing one of the seals from being broken to flood the middle continent to whatever end, Marroway, who was the only one of the player characters left outside of that dam, fell unconscious. In the midst of the rest of your sort of recruited blue cloaks and other soldiers from around the area who are helping you are the only ones in Marroway's vicinity, besides his immediate companions. So I'm going to start with where Marroway is at right now. Marroway, you've been having nightmares, to say the least. Sleep has evaded you for some time. You have how many points of exhaustion on your character sheet?
4.
4 points of points of exhaustion, people. That is not fun. All that being said, Marroway, how would you have been feeling in the moments as you watch your friends rush into the dam and you are, besides exhausted, which is the obvious answer, what's Marroway's mindset been in the moments before you fell unconscious?
I think for Marroway, watching his friends charge into this dam, I think he would have just been proud of them. I think he's watched them grow into such noble people. You know, when we first met, they were very chaotic. They were very, except for me. And I feel like he's just really proud of them and proud to call them allies. And maybe trusting them quite a bit more than he previously had.
Okay. Let me ask you a second question here. When is the last time Marroway put some deep thought into his childhood, his home, his family?
I think thinks about it every night. You know, he's kind of forced to, at least with the nightmares. I think when it comes to really thinking about his home, though, it's something he has avoided rather aggressively. He knows what is waiting for him there if he chooses to go back. He knows that the entire forces of Sanctuary could not stop it. So, what is the possibility that he could?
Okay. And then my last question for you, Bobby. In the moments before Marroway falls unconscious, where is his confidence level at? Considering how he feels things were beyond his control and maybe still are. But considering everything you've been through now with this group since you met this group in Tuzenkin.
I think his confidence in the group is at its highest.
I asked about
I
yourself.
would think that in his state, his current state, his confidence in himself is probably the lowest throughout the whole adventure. You know, when he started, he had the ability to lie about it. He could lie to himself about it. And I think he's really starting to feel the effects of lying so much to people.
Okay. So, Marroway, the last thing you see, your friends rushing into the building, some, I believe, not fireballs for once, if I remember right. The sound of spells being thrown off, the sound of your party communicating with each other, what's going on in this building, how to stop what's about to happen, doing what they do best, saving a continent. And your vision goes first almost black and white, almost colorless. And you start to hear that ringing in your ears. So the sound of your friends' voices hollering inside this large stone dam fades into just the dull ringing of just before you're about to lose consciousness. You're bloodless when you're truly injured, the moments before you're about to go under. And then your vision slowly starts to close into a pinpoint before finally blackness. For a moment, I probably think that as that vision starts to, you know what, no, you tell me, in that moment that your vision is really starting to narrow in and you realize you're losing consciousness, for no apparent reason, after you get past the point of, did I just take a spell? Was I just stabbed? What is happening? You've gone down once or twice in your lifetime, to unconsciousness at least. What would Marroway's first feeling be? Would it be a feeling of relief? Would it be a feeling of panic? Where is the mindset?
Definitely panic. Marroway knows what happens when he's not conscious, and he knows that his ability to control it is slipping to a very dangerous.
Yeah. So your heart, while you feel your body shutting down a bit, from exhaustion, you just feel heavier, your eyes feel heavy, you're going down. You are able to just in that moment sort of catch yourself on the ground and sit yourself down so you don't take a fall just before you lose consciousness. And then, in your panic, in your fear of what's happening and what's about to start, knowing how you feel when you're unconscious, knowing what's been happening, especially lately, you find yourself reaching for something comforting and protective. And you know your friends, you're sort of leaving behind in unconsciousness. So you're reaching in a specific direction for that comfort, for that protection. And it can't be Bula in this moment because you know you're about to slip into unconsciousness, into the dream, into the nightmare of your memory. So what does Marroway, who might Marroway think of in a moment where he needs protection in the realm that you're about to almost project into?
I think the person that he would want to reach for is someone that he has not heard from in a very long time. I think his first thought would go to probably a figure that is the closest thing to a father he has in Sir Muldulson. But at this point, he doesn't know if he's alive, if he's gone, if he's been taken. But I think that's who he would be desperately hoping to.
Yeah. As is natural, you expect your protector, your first almost masculine, one of your only real masculine father figures, this protector, this defender, a role that you yourself haven't felt like you were able to take on, but you know someone who has in real life for you, for your family, for your home. And you picture Sir Malsdulin as your vision narrows to that pinpoint and goes black. Almost like the projection of light behind your eyes. You can see his face, even though it's been so long since you've heard his voice, and so long since you've seen him. As happens in many of your nightmares, you find yourself immediately, in your mind's eye, back in Sanctuary. And it is what you've seen, unfortunately, most lately. The way you last saw it, not the way you truly remember it, which was peace and love and acceptance and community and safety. Instead, you're seeing it as you last saw it. Even through a child's eyes, destruction and chaos and fear and confusion. But Sir Malsdulin being there. And can you describe the kind of chaos and corruption that you've seen recently in your nightmares of Sanctuary?
I think it's the brambled vines and thorns of just absolute darkness surrounding the homes of the innocent people that took refuge there. It's the stained glass castle shattered and broken apart. It's the forest that holds the faces of all of the people that Marroway feels he let down.
And you're seeing this, and you see Sir Malsdulin, but it's not the memory of dream. It's not the deja vu of something that has happened. It's almost like he doesn't see you in this moment. He's not aged, because that simplifies the aging process of the Fae of Sanctuary. But he is changed, in a way. You're seeing... Roll for me a perception check.
Are we including the exhaustion here in Sanctuary?
No.
15.
Okay. You see him not with the lines and wrinkles and sun damage of the aged here on Dion. You are seeing him aged in a way that is only of Sanctuary, and only of this version of Sanctuary, where things are corrupted, where the brambles tear, and have been tearing for some years now. Where someone new and terrible and old and great has been wreaking havoc. You can see it in his expression, in his eyes. There's something about the Fae that, no matter how well they lie and cheat and bargain, you can see everything they are hiding in their eyes. and only someone else from Sanctuary can really pick that up from each other. And you see this in Surmaz. Not that he's been lying or been doing bad things, but he has seen things that only age in this kind of place will show. And it's not like your dreams where you are young again and being not young compared to all these humans you've been around, but young in a way that lack of experience makes someone young. It's not him trying to get you out. It's not the rest of your court trying to get you out. It's not even the way your mother is directly interacting with you. It's in a way that you feel you're seeing something happen in real time, as opposed to remembering what it was like to be there. He's not responding to you. He doesn't seem to notice that you're there watching, and you almost have this out-of-body experience watching as opposed to a first-person view here. So as that's happening, you can see and you can feel that a chase is underway, and there is something Surmaz has been fighting, but that he cannot fight on his own. And you hear the howl of a wolf in the distance. How is Marroway feeling seeing this?
I think first he is just seeing Sir Muldulzin. This tall, gallant hobgoblin of a man that he used to walk the gardens with, who, his first protector. And then hearing the wolf, I think, would absolutely chill every ounce of joy out of it.
Yeah. Moving sideways, outside of Marroway, to the rest of my players. You have just successfully fended off the cult of... All the names escape me tonight. It has been too long since we played. The cult of the Leviathan.
Silent Tide.
The Silent Tide. Thank you. Thank you. Pulling up all my reference material here. You have just successfully fended off the cult of the Silent Tide, who had a full press on these dams. You've got to be feeling high, but again, I'm going to let you tell me. As this battle inside this echoey, large stone, half-destructed dam winds down, things go quiet. You don't necessarily hear at this exact moment that we're flashing back to what's happening outside. But is there anything any of you would do immediately on the tail end of battle ending?
Well, I think the first thing that Bula does is that she sees from across the room, Marroway goes down. And so she's still raging. She's got her axe above her head. And then she's just screaming for him and trying to get over there.
He's outside right now.
Yeah, I think he was still out on the beach trying to catch up to you all. I think he was just a little bit behind.
I was on the beach getting control water if the dam were to break.
That's right, yes. Okay.
So
Eidos was the one that was surrounded in the center.
Inside?
Yeah.
For a moment, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you've taken everybody down, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind. She's not doing that. So she's just, Bula's just still looking around. She's trying to find somebody else to hit, somebody else to take down.
Okay.
And I think Eidos is maybe searching through the robes of the mages in particular to find some sort of documentation or message from who's organizing all this. Anything to find a lead.
Okay, you can roll an investigation check, and while you do that, Melanie, what is Seraphina doing in the final moments of battle? Or after the battle?
Seraphina popped in at the last second. Can she still see Marroway?
Oh, yeah, you'd be right at the door. Yeah, you're absolutely right. while Eidos rolls his investigation, you can roll your perception check, please.
Okay, perfect.
And I imagine any second now, I don't imagine, I'm the DM, it's gonna happen. Any second now, even if you don't recognize it right away, you'll be hearing. Marroway was surrounded by allies, so it's not like they won't holler. Okay, Eidos, what was
Yeah,
your
yeah.
investigation?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's good.
My investigation was 10.
Okay, I think you probably start with the bodies as per usual, looking for any kind of documentation, planning, anything like that, identifiers. With a 10, I don't think you're going to pick up much from the bodies, besides the usual. You can probably collect their typical, like, poison weapons, that kind of stuff, but none of them seem to be walking around with written plans or documentation. I think the mages probably have a little bit more. Maybe one of them has, with a 10, something like an identifier, or like you can tell that like they have like sort of a patch and emblem of some kind on the inside of their cloak, sort of ranking their status a little bit. So it would appear there is sort of a way for them to recognize who is Silent Tide that's also kind of hidden. And I think you could remember what that symbol would look like enough with a 10.
Okay. I think I'm going to remember it very well because it said it's a patch.
Yeah, it's like a patch on the inside of the cloak, of the mage's cloaks.
I'm going to reach in and rip off one of those patches and pocket it.
Okay, easy enough done. Yeah.
Okay.
You can do that. Go ahead and put that in your inventory so you know you have it later.
Okay.
Okay, Seraphina, what was your perception check?
It was a 6.
Okay, not great. Yeah, I think you're just like, I did such a good job. Did you guys see me?
Still riding that high.
Yeah. Even though you were the last one into the room where everything ended.
I did this.
Yeah, you and your dragon dominatrix really carried the battle in your head. So you probably don't hear Marroway go down as he sort of gently sets himself down on the sand and passes out. However, in moments, Bula, you're still kind of in a battle rage, just sort of foaming at the mouth, but you all hear from outside the sound of what sounds like your allies, the blue cloaks. A few of them in a sort of a panic tone, Mr. Marroway, like trying to sort of shake him, and then you hear for them calling you all. And I think Killian, without Dane being here, I think Killian is... I'll go ahead and roll a perception check for him just to see if he would have gotten there earlier. Nah, that's not great. Yeah, but he would react the same as you all. So he would rush out, I imagine.
Eidos does as well as soon as he hears people calling his name.
Yeah.
Or his name.
Yeah. Seraphina, you do the same. I'm assuming Bula
Yeah.
runs even faster. Yep. Yeah, and you all run out onto the beach, rushing out, and you do see indeed one of the blue cloaks. A woman has like sort of like propped Marroway up, like tried to like sit him up on her lap and like turn him and see if he's like seizing, choking, anything like that. They're all sort of doing like very general like first aid, trying to check if he's alive, checking his pulse as you all run up approaching. I'm gonna roll for them just like a basic medicine check as a blue cloak. It was decent. So as you all run up and see Marroway laying, eyes closed, very pale, very gaunt looking, the dark circles under his eyes looking especially stark against his very pale skin. But the blue cloak sort of propping Marroway up and the others around, checking his pulse, checking if he's breathing. He's breathing, he's alive, he has a pulse, but it's slow and it's low. Anything any of you do?
That is to say, what happened to him? Did he get hit?
He
Bula's
went
just
down.
checking him over for...
There was no one left out here. Go ahead, Bula.
Bula's checking him over for any wounds, any blood. She kind of looks in his bag to see if, in his pockets, to see if she can find any of those little berries that he uses to make other people better.
Okay.
She's just trying to think of anything she possibly can to get him back without hurting him, because he's so delicate in her big meaty paws.
Yeah.
So
Marroway, what would she find? Do you have any good berries prepared, and or do you have any like health potions that she might find in your pockets?
No, I do not. have any good berries. I do have a potion of heroism and a couple potions of healing. But no good
You
berries.
have one sugar
I have
cube.
4 cubes of sugar.
Yeah.
I have 4 cubes of sugar.
You now have 3 because she finds that and is like, what is that sugar? And she licks it to test it and it just disintegrates. It's like, ah, yeah, that's sugar. That's not what I need. She keeps rifling through. Did you say that you have healing potions in your...
I do.
Okay.
I have 2, 3. I have 3.
Would she... I mean, are they obvious? Like, would Bula know, like, hey, that's a healing potion?
I think so. I think unless Marroway
Yeah.
has moved them into stealthier bottles, you guys are all pretty aware of what health potions should look like. And they're all in clear bottles, so you can tell the viscosity, the color.
Okay. So she's going to kind of hold him up so he doesn't choke and try to, like, force feed him a healing potion.
Okay,
I have that full health.
yeah.
She doesn't know that?
Yeah, I was just about to say, yep, I believe Marroway just kind of looks the same, but he remains unconscious.
I imagine as this is happening, Glorabelle's just like licking his face,
Oh, 100%.
slobbering.
I did roll...
Guys, all of my summons also, except for Eden, are gone.
Yes, they are. And you guys can make note of that. That's pretty obvious. I rolled a medicine check for Killian, and he rolled a nat 20 on that medicine check because I rolled for him with my deadly die. So he is going to very quickly sort of, I think, ask the rest of you, he's been exhausted, right? I think he is just tired, and like after all of the soldiers around Marroway's body sort of confirmed he wasn't hit by any spell, there were no attackers out here, he just sort of dropped cold. Killian is just sort of confirming with the rest of you. He hasn't been Bula, has he been sleeping?
No, he doesn't sleep. He never sleeps. He can't sleep with all those nightmares, and then there's all these flashing lights, and I don't even know what he's doing under there, but it sure ain't sleeping.
And Benji pipes up looking quite worried. He's like at this point knelt in the sand, sort of across Marroway's body from the woman holding him up. And he's going to just cast the highest level cure wounds that he still has in his arsenal. But it doesn't really do much.
So does he just need to sleep it off then? Is that all?
He might, I mean... And as you guys are sort of debating this, Marroway, in your sort of dreamscape sanctuary unconscious world, you can feel, and sort of like when in a dream you finally realize you're dreaming and you're able to sort of shake yourself awake. You feel the tug of Dion, but you are seeing what has become of Sanctuary since you've left. Where is Marroway letting his heart pull him? Is he wanting to see more of Sanctuary in this moment, or is he trying to regain consciousness?
I don't think he wants to let go of this vision of Sir. I think this is the first drop of hope that he's had in many years. And so I almost imagine, like, in this dreamscape, he's trying to run towards Sir Muldulzin, but not moving anywhere closer.
Yeah. Roll a straight wisdom check for me.
That's gonna be a nat.
Was that a nat 20 that you just said?
Nat 20.
A nat 20. Beautiful. So while those of you in Dion can see he is stable, he remains stable. You can feel his pulse. You see a little bit of a strange flush in his cheeks, just a little. He's still quite pale, quite gone. But Marroway, in Sanctuary, you are running as hard as you can. You are using every ounce of yourself to remain here and see more of your hero and your father figure. you can feel at this point the chase happening, just like in a dream, where you are running uphill and you can't seem to make any progress. Sorry, guys, I'm hearing we're having sound issues. Hold on, let me turn my sound up so everybody can hear me. Okay, maybe this will do it. I just turned up my pickup. Okay. As you are running as hard as you can in this dreamscape, with that nat 20 wisdom check, you are able to sort of make some progress, and you keep up as your knight runs full tilt across the woods, not running towards something, but running in a chase, outrunning a corruption that you know is behind as the wolf howl gets louder and closer, and you're able to sort of float alongside him. And you have the chance with that nat 20. I'm going to let you roll you can choose an Arcana, an Insight, or a Nature check to try and get his attention. You feel like if you just yell out enough, if you just reach out hard enough, he'll feel you there.
That's going to be an Insight check. Glad I picked that. It's only 8.
Okay. Just 8 total? Not a flat 8?
Oh, no, it's a 15. I have a plus.
Okay, wonderful. 15 is great. Okay. What would Marroway do to try and get Surmaz to respond to you? I keep saying his name wrong, Surmaz. Sorry.
I think he's just literally sprinting, arm outstretched, yelling his name. Just, Zedamurl Gulson! I'm here! Can you see me?
You see as he's
I think
running.
It's like a desperate, like, crying, tears in his eyes. Desperately.
Yeah. And you can see Sir Mole trying to crash through this underbrush at full tilt as much as he can in all these tangled thorns and vines that what was once sanctuary. He almost like trips and sort of comes up short quickly and looks around and tries to find this voice that he can hear. Do you try and approach?
Yeah. Always gonna do everything in power to get to.
Okay. And those were 2 pretty great rolls in a row. He sort of seems to find you and is confused. And as you make eye contact, you can see that the corruption across your land, your home, has left no one alone. That even him, even this heroic character with your family's well-being deep, deep, deep in his heart, there's something that's gone stale or rotten inside him in a way that's very much not him. And he both looks relieved to have heard your voice and to have found you somehow, and also terrified, and also this visceral eating hunger and anger that is not him. Do you try and continue communicating with him? I'm sorry, that did not pick up. Can you say that again?
I think it's time to wait.
Okay. You let the tug of knowing that you're here but you're not here. You're in Sanctuary but you're in Dion. You let yourself reconnect to the mortal plane. And all of you at once, in the same moment, here is Marroway. Marroway, you hear it before you even really feel the air hit your lungs. Your own gasp of waking up from a nightmare. Very familiar sensation for you, but the rest of you see his eyes fly open. And you are back with your friends. What would you all like to do?
You wake up and Bula's face is literally like inches in front of yours. Just like still a little bit of drool from the battle. And she's just like kind of hanging over you like,
You
Waiting
feel like
for-
Glorabelle's tongue like on your cheek.
Yeah, Glitterbell's very sandpapery tongue.
I don't think Marroway says anything in this moment. I think he's just kind of almost a very jaded, like, feeling as a tear falls from his eyes. And I think he's just gonna process for a little bit.
Okay. Marroway sits
Bula
up
sees the
silently.
tear just like slip down, and she just kind of reaches up, rubs her thumb across it to wipe it away, and just kind of backs up a little bit. She sees that he's here and he's okay physically, and so she's going to give him space.
Marroway's gonna grab you.
In a hug or in like a panic?
Probably both.
Hmm.
I think where normally he wants to be alone, right now he's afraid to.
She sees that, and she not only kind of wraps her arms around him, but she digs in her belt real quick and she finds Sir Lavender, and she just kind of tucks Sir Lavender under your arm as well, and just kind of envelops you.
This has all been too much, I think. We need to rest up before we do anything like this again. We've stopped them for now. Let's go hole up somewhere for a few days. What would be closer, Baba Morosa's house or the town that we traveled from to get here?
Definitely the town, but Baba Morosa is
Okay.
at this point approaching from the lake. They're all have directed their canoes and kayaks and all the things over toward you. So, if you wanted to go to Baba Morosa's, you could roll to see if she'll let you come.
Can we come to your place? Yeah. I can't think of a reason to choose somewhere that's further away. Unless she's got some witchy magic that can help ease his pain, bring some sleep.
Great question. Let's see.
I
if
guess
she
I'll ask
does.
her.
Yeah. Let's see if she does.
So once she's done walking up, probably in slow-mo, blood dripping from her blade.
100%, and from her mouth.
Hot, yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like down her arms to the elbow, and just like a trickle down one mouth down her cleavage.
Nice.
In slow motion with the wind. Somehow there's no wind on you guys, but there's a full wind blowing her hair and cloak back.
Oh, totally. Yeah, she's got a half skirt that catches on the breeze. and seems
100%,
impossible.
all thigh, all muscular thigh and calf.
Yeah, a leather band wrapped around
Yes.
her thigh. There's
Wearing
no knife
like
in it, it's
just
there.
the sexiest pleasers. Not,
Oh,
makes
yeah.
no sense
On
for a
sand?
swamp.
Wow.
Makes no sense for the swamp she came from, but she just seems to walk over everything like she's wearing waders.
Oh, she makes it look
So cool.
effortless. Yeah, cool was the word I was thinking. So yeah, when she approaches, I'll try to hand her bundle of sticks and ribbon back. Although actually, there's bundles of sticks and hair, and say thanks. We really appreciated your help, and thank you for this talisman that you gave to me. Our friend here is severely exhausted and needs some rest. Do you have anything that could help him? He has terrors in the night.
Well, rest is one thing. I think she comes down close to you, Marroway, and sort of kneels on the sand very gracefully next to Bula. And she sort of looks at both you and Bula with, may I lay hands upon you?
Bula growls just a little bit.
I only want to find out if I can help. You're welcome to take my head if you so wish. And she slowly...
She just kind of like,
Marroway will not yes, because there's nothing this world can show him or do to him that will scare him worse than what he already faces.
She lays hands on you for a moment, and you can all see her eyes like roll back in her head. Those of you facing her eyes roll back in her head, but the backside is black, so her just eyeballs go black. And she gets this like sort of death crawl down her face from her eyes, It sort of goes a little bit dark and swamp witchy. And she's just sort of muttering little incantations. Marroway, to you, it doesn't feel like much except someone is exploring inside you. Sort of tapping on the glass of your mind, not wanting to go too deep. Checking your status, trying to find out some things about you. Do you just allow this to happen? It doesn't feel it doesn't feel malicious. And she takes a moment and sort of mutters these low, deep incantations to herself in this deep, demonic voice, and then her eyes roll back forward and she sits up from you and removes her hands and sort of like scrubs them in the sand a little bit to kind of clean herself in a way. And she says, if rest is what he needs, which it would appear is indeed the case, though that is not the main malady that assails him, I can quite easily put him to sleep. Would you like a good dreamless sleep, sir?
I do not know if that would be possible for you to do.
I can at the very least try for tonight. I'm sorry if it is not dreamless, but adding a little bit of the arcane to your sleep might help in some way. I could also polymorph you into something pleasant, like a box turtle or a slug, if that would be more amenable to you. You may have less worries if you have less memories and intelligence to contend with in your sleep.
Well, I'm already pretty low on intelligence, but I don't think that's necessary.
Alright, well, I just thought that would be fun. Would you like to take a sleep, a magical sleep? I can lift
He's just gonna look to Bula to see what she thinks.
Bula's a little bit skeptical just because we don't know this woman and all her witchy weirdness, and her eyes just rolled back in her head like some kind of swamp water demon. But she also knows that Marroway needs sleep, and if there's the possibility, she like turns around to Bob Morosa and like gets right in her face. She's like, and it's safe, like completely, totally, 1,000,000% safe, right?
It is safe. It is safe. I have no malicious intent. He will sleep, hopefully dreamlessly, and awaken a bit more rested. That is all. I have a second suggestion if that's not amenable to you.
If your second suggestion is to turn him into a slug, you can take that and put it back in your hat.
No, that was just I just wanted to throw that one out the wall and see if it stuck. No, it's not that. I could try and simply suggest that he have a sound sleep. And I would not be magically putting him to sleep, but I could make it so that he would be more amenable to a dreamless sleep. Perhaps that would penetrate his subconscious a bit more than just a physical sleep might. Neither are dangerous.
Bula looks at Marroway.
Can I make an Arcana check to see if it is my subconscious or if it is someone actively giving me that?
Yeah, please do. Please roll that Arcana check. Roll it with advantage.
Yeah. 23.
23. You're mostly chased in your dreams, sought out. Someone is searching for you. Someone is reaching across realms to find you. And your dreams are a manifestation of that.
Do not believe that my subconscious is what is doing it. I believe that it is the work of someone else. If I were to avoid the nightmares, I think I would have to have something to protect me from their influence.
Benji sort of perks up a little bit, and he says, I can work on something like that. Give me a couple hours.
Okay.
It may be temporary, but we can try. We just need somewhere safe for me to settle down and try and commune with nature a bit.
Okay.
Well, unfortunately, I can only protect you here. But I promise, if you do decide that you want to try, while you're asleep, I'll certainly be protecting your body here.
I do not think that I want to be put to sleep. At least in the way that I've been doing it. I can wake up if I have to.
Papa Morosa says, I understand. I wish I could help more. Peace is not my strong suit. And she sort of leans back and stands and moves out of the way. And the blue cloak's
Thank you,
all
Papa
sort of...
Morosa.
She gives you a wink. But she doesn't let anybody else see it. She then goes straight back to scowling.
And what if... Eidos would never dare say this out loud, but he does scan the horizon with a fervent prayer that the 7-foot vollywog is okay.
Roll a perception check.
Okay.
It's very low DC.
19. My heart is full
Oh, yeah.
for love of this man.
Yeah, he's one of the last boats pulling in. You can see he's on, like, a very large raft with, like, a couple different buoys on either end. And there's, like, multiple bullywug bodies dead on the raft around him, but he is standing tall. Just one silent froggy tear as his tongue lashes out, like, 30 feet and catches a fly. But he's standing
Bravest
tall and
frog I've
proud.
ever met.
He tips his very large tri-point hat at you.
Yeah, I do one of these.
I think Killian is going to
Cool.
ask, well, we need to get somewhere safe regardless, so where are we thinking, folks? We can get back to town and teleport back to Barak.
We need to probably debrief after all this, and it's the closest safe point I think we have at this point. So maybe we pack up, head back to town.
You might just say, well, that's probably the best way for us to find out quickly what's happening in Ozalid and Nerdistan, so that might be a good option even if we just swing through and then move somewhere else. Okay.
So the trip back in reverse is going to be like a few hours long hike, and then get on a boat and go upstream.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if anybody of all these NPCs has anything for teleportation to get you guys there faster, but I don't think anybody really does. And we went through a lot of spells in all these battles.
Yeah, I got nothing for spells.
Yeah. So it may just be, I think, yeah, another hike. I think the Blue Cloaks will all sort of pipe up, or the commander of the Blue Cloaks sort of steps forward and introduces herself. Sergeant Prantha Barrows, of the 31st Division of the Blue Cloaks, and she sort of salutes you all. And she says, we will happily escort you back to the nearest settlement where you can find a teleportation circle to get where you need to go.
We thank you. Let's make haste.
Okay. So you all take off back into the woods. Do you want to take a short rest before you start hiking or anything like that? Do you feel like you need it? Benji's doing pretty well. Killian's also doing
Bula's gonna kind of help carry / support as whatever he needs for Marroway. So if he's not looking great, she's gonna take some of that because she's fine.
Yeah, and I think Killian would offer up a horse whose name we have made all the funny names for.
Castle Deer.
Castle Deer. Casimir.
No, it's Cashmere.
Yeah. Cash and beer.
Cashmere sweater.
Yeah.
Calf and Fleer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He offers Casimir using the correct name. to carry Marroway as well.
I think Marroway wants Bula's help, and I think he wants to be carried right now. I think he is finally getting to a point where he is accepting how much he needs.
She does so easily.
Yeah, I think it takes you both back for a second to the flower maze and to Zenkin at the Festival of Flowers, and carrying him through slowly.
I think, like, carry the wife over the threshold, that kind of.
Yeah.
I think he's like resting his head on her shoulder, and in his hand, he's gonna just be holding his broken rook piece.
Okay. And you all start moving. So, I'll roll for Killian and Benji, but everybody go ahead and roll a nature or a survival check as you just make your way back through the woods and up the river. We're gonna just kind of speed past the travel.
As Seraphina's walking along the beach, she will also cast Prestidigitation so that wind is blowing on her as well. If she's not.
Giving your best Barbarossa.
I like to think that Seraphina saw everybody on the beach just staring at Barbarossa, like,
Yeah, absolutely. just slowly cut a slit up the leg of your gown.
She looks to make sure everyone can see.
Yeah, you look fabulous. No roll needed. You look like a Victoria's Secret supermodel. Okay. Anybody else get anything lower than a 10 for this travel?
Seraphina has a 6.
Nat 20. A 6 for Seraphina. That nat 20 is going to save you. Okay. And Killian and Benji both rolled mid-range, but above 10. Yeah, you all are able to make it much more easily this time through the woods that you're now a little bit more familiar with. Up the river, you meet the barge that was going to come grab you all to take you back and head up river. But I believe with the time that has passed since all these battles started, you're going to be traveling well into the night. So by the time you hit the barge, it's going to be past dark. So would you all like to go ahead and take a rest on the barge, or are you all going to try and stay up through the night?
Could we take shifts? Or what do they call it? Watch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
So we do that. I need some spells.
Yeah. And of course the blue cloaks will have a rotation, like a natural rotation going like they always do. But it's good to have actual heroes on watch as well.
Okay. Well, please
So does that
for this choice. Marroway is not going to sleep. I think seeing Muldulzin the way he did has shaken him, and I think he is so afraid to see that again that he is not going to. And I will take that 5th point of view.
Yeah. I will. I'll let you take that 5th point of exhaustion and just make the decision to stay awake. You can even like recruit Bula to try and help you stay awake, or whoever's on watch to make sure you're not nodding off. Because I think at this point it's physically hard to stay conscious, but I think you can do it with enough gumption, enough need.
Bula certainly tries to keep him awake. She's finding food in her bag and, trying to find anything she can to keep him awake and all that kind of stuff. But I think that she's also having trouble after all of that, after raging almost every single time that I possibly could have.
Yeah, you've got to be exhausted.
She's struggling. So I think she eventually is going to drift off accidentally.
I think when she does fall asleep, Marroway will have Eden or Huthamer, whoever he has in that moment, to kind of keep him going, keep him awake, make sure he doesn't nod off.
Yeah. And you can just kind of try and stay active, get out on the deck. If you remember right, it was like sort of like a little house-like structure, covered structure plus a large deck. So you can try and stay active, stay outside, talk to the blue cloaks.
Yeah, we'll walk around with our 15 movement speed.
Yeah, just slowly pacing the deck a little bit every time you start to feel a little groggy.
Bless is hard.
Okay.
Are we calling this a long rest or a short rest?
You can. Those of you who are choosing to sleep can go ahead and put in a long rest. probably much needed, well needed.
That's so good.
All those spell slots, all those sorcerer points.
We're gonna take a lovely short rest to get 2 warlock spell slots back, but that's it, my friend.
Deal.
Gross.
If I die from being sleepy, guys,
Contorted.
exhaustion and I'm gone.
It's 6, right? And you're at 5?
Yeah, I'm at 5.
Gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Baby's getting sleepy.
Mm.
How'd you die? I was too tired.
I would not sleep because I had nightmares that were real. Freddy Krueger hunted me, so here I am.
Uh-huh.
I think actually that Ado seeing that Marroway is not going to attempt sleep, is going to sit next to Marroway, or stand next to him if he's pacing, and try to talk to him for a bit. Marroway, I can't help but be concerned for you. You're obviously exhausted. You're starting to pass out. What do we need to do to help you find rest?
Go back. Not like that.
Can you say it again, Bobby? You're cutting out.
Yeah, just a bit.
I said, I don't know what you can do. I cannot go back. Not like that.
Oh, we also can't go much further forward like this. One or the other is going to have to give. And I'm afraid if we keep going the way that we're going, you'll give out first. We have to do something.
What do you suggest?
I don't know much about your affliction. I was hoping that you would have the answer and we could just go in swinging for you. But maybe we could have you speak with somebody who is more familiar with the what did you call them? The Fey world? Something like that. See, I don't know what I'm talking about.
It is okay. I know very little about your home either.
It's not as interesting as yours. But maybe let's talk. Let's find out. I'm just concerned for you is all.
Me too. I don't know how much longer I can do this.
Look at that. The Ados will just put a hand on his shoulder. Just kind of nod. And we keep going forward. And do everything we can.
Onward.
And indeed, onward, upriver, the boat floats. A river that is the size that it should be. A river that you all prevented from flooding a whole continent. And you float up through the night. And those of you take your rest when you need it. Those of you who are avoiding rest, avoid it. And eventually, to the east, the sun rises. And you can see in the sky, one of the other 3 heart planets shows its face for a bit, just above the tree line. Okay. Your travel passes. Early morning, you are pulling back in to the town you left from. And you see the fort-like castle, the small town surrounding it, all these happy people who clearly haven't had time to even hear the news of your success, but come out of their houses as people start hollering, and the early morning workers, the bakers, the carpenters are all emerging for their workday and see your barge floating into their small little pier. And you have those of you who are sleeping into the morning hear the cheers of the townspeople as the blue cloaks come around and wake you all up, those who are still sleeping, to disembark soon, to gather your things and get ready for rest. So, again, anything you want to do in this town before you move straight to that teleportation circle?
Edo says nothing. I think he's kind of chomping at the bit to get this particular mission wrapped up neatly. Then figure out something to do to help Marroway get some sleep, or at least get to a safe town.
Boola's just ready to get him back to a place where he feels safe enough that maybe he can try resting. She did wake up and was like, whoa, I accidentally feel real rested right now, you guys.
Much needed.
Feels a little guilty for falling asleep on Marroway, but she does feel better feel like she's better able to protect him now should something come up.
Serafina just basks in the cheering and does like a pageant wing.
Very much like a girl in a parade, the pageant queen, on the back of a Camaro. Okay. And you all gather your belongings, your supplies, and you disembark, Killian packing up Casimir, your pack mule, with all of your the yurt in its bag, in its travel bag, and all your supplies you've been toting around, which your bags are getting a little heavy, even with that bag of holding. You guys have quite a collection of little trinkets and riches going, so with all your luggage and your belongings, you head back up into the city of Dagdahorgan, and do you check in with anybody, or do you just beeline straight for where you know the teleportation circle is, to Barak?
I don't know if beeline is the correct word. I'm moving.
Yeah, you're moving as fast as Bula can carry you. I have a feeling Bula's just gonna piggyback you, if not Bride carry you for a while.
What town is this again?
This is Dagdahorgan.
Okay, we don't have any dealings in this town, right?
Not really. They just had a conveniently located teleportation circle from Barak.
Mm-hmm.
It was the closest
The
you
only
could
thing
get.
my notes is dwarves.
Dwarves?
Dwarves.
Excellent.
I don't even know where you got that. Dwarves. It is sort of a dwarvish mining town, but it's Lainamirna. It's you're in Lainamirna at this point. But it's very much
that's just what Serafina remembers. Yeah,
yeah, just dwarves.
She saw a dwarf once. That's what
she saw
stuck.
a lovely dwarf couple as we were walking down the street, and she was like, I guess it's Dwarf Town. Nah, Eidos doesn't need to do anything in here.
I think we're going to make our way pretty swiftly to the teleportation device so that we don't get waylaid by anything else that wants to kill us.
Yeah, fair enough. You need
or take over the world.
You need a
or
vacation.
what have you.
Yeah, you need a vacation from the crazy
when we need it.
Right.
Okay. Easily enough done. Yeah, you guys can go right back to the teleportation. So I think you give a salute to the town's mayor who greeted you when you came. The very energetic and optimistic little guy. Not a dwarf, a halfling. But I think in Serafina's mind, what's the difference? And you make your way back to the teleportation circle and teleport through to the larger chamber of teleportation in Barak Forge. And I think you all take a deep sigh of relief as you smell the under mountain sort of, it's not musky, but it's that humidity that accumulates in a mountain, and you can smell even the moss growing on some of the stone down deep, but also the fresh mountain air that blows in through the many entrances. Even more now, you can tell immediately. It seems Barak, even in the days since you left, but in the days since you sort of saved Barak itself from a small insurrection, has really broken into a frenzy of excitement, having found the lower levels that you all found here when you were last in town. And I think very quickly a sort of clerk comes bustling into the room, a little gnomish clerk comes bustling through the tiny gnome door that is next to the large giant door. And he says, that was... looks at a watch, and then he looks at the 8 other watches on his other arm, and then 3 watches on his first arm. All watches up his arms that all seem to be ticking at different intervals. You've been gone nearly less than a few days. Is that good news or bad news?
Good news. Yeah. I mean, there's always a hint of bad news with us, but for the most part, good news. Our mission was a success.
Good news then. Well, come. Let's take you back to the elders. And he very quickly rushes off. He goes through the giant doors this time, like very slowly. There's like a handle way down low, close to the ground, just made for gnomish hands. And he very slowly, with all his might, like fully in a squat, pulls the large giant door open so you all don't have to go through the gnomish door. And he leads you all out into Barak Forge. And he says, Thorgun will be most pleased that you were successful. And he's sort of just like rattling on and asking you for details. So, you were at Lake Kismanar. Tell me, what was it like? What was the depth of the lake at its deepest? What was the shallowest of the lake at its shallowest? Tell me everything. Was there magic? Tell me about the technology. There were dams, yes? Tell me about the dams. How do they make hydroelectric power?
To answer your first question, I don't know. Second question, I don't know. Third question, there was a big fight, so we were a little distracted. Yeah, not a lot of time for data collection, I'm sorry to say. But lovely weather down there right now.
This is what's wrong with the world. All time for war, no time for science. He sort of mutters to himself as he very quickly does a little gnomish half jog to try and keep up with your long legs. And he takes you right back to Thorgun the Giant's halls, if you will, where you can see Thorgun and Urbessa Coppergleam, the chief engineer of all the gnomes, are sort of sitting in having early breakfast together, with Urbessa up on this very, very tall, especially for a gnome, chair to mate with the Giant's table. And they're both having breakfast, and they both Urbessa like fully drops her fork when she sees you all walk in, but Thorgun very calmly sets his plate down, takes his napkin out of his collar, wipes his mouth very, very maturely, lays it back on his lap. A successful mission, or not so well?
Dams stand. The drowned sleeper is still sleeping. So, the down dreamer is still sleeping. Whatever his name is.
The drowned dreamer is still dreaming. That is good news. That is great news. Yeah. And Urbessa says, Yes, indeed. You got here faster than any news could travel to us, even through our telekinetic channels. What was happening? Did you fight the Leviathan? Did you defeat the entirety of the cult? Who was there?
The cult definitely had a showing. Dozens. I felt like dozens of mages and footmen from the Silent Tide were trying to break down the seals inside the dams. And we're nearly successful. They broke into the final dam that we were able to eliminate the scourge from, got inside, and were in the middle of trying to extinguish the sacred flames that held the seals together. But we slew them, and it's all safe now, as far as we know.
Flames hold back the waters. Fascinating. She starts taking notes. Sacred flames, you say?
Oh yeah, you didn't know how it worked.
I've never been myself. She sort of looks at Thorgun and he shrugs.
And each of the dams contained, I believe it was 5 lanterns with sacred flames that held the 5 seals together.
Fire and water.
Basically, there was a bunch of squishy people, and we squished them. And then there were these frogs, and there was that one frog that was like real tall. And then there was that woman with the wind. Something's wrong with her dress. I don't know. But she helped us as well. And then we made sure that nothing happened. And that's basically your summary.
So a lot happened so that nothing could happen.
Well, that was the goal.
That was the goal. Thorgun says, Most pleasing. You all are a delight, an epiphany to know. we expect this is a full-out war. The last reports we had from Ozuled was well successfully defending itself, but there seems to have been some breakthrough at Nerdistan, and they seem to have broken their barriers, but that was, what, late yesterday, or best? Yes, that was at 8:42 p.m. yesterday, yes. Well, then we will have to make our first priority tonight, seeing if Nerdistan needs any of the Blue Cloaks who were at the lake to move north, or if we need to move any of our forces from Ozuled inland. And they sort of are communicating back and forth about war plans and fully defending the two cities that are under siege, because you all acted with such efficiency that those cities are well still under siege at this point. Not knowing that the news would not... You have traveled with this news faster than anybody else could have at this point.
So hearing this, I think Seraphina's gonna ask, was there any news of the Blackthorns?
Arbessa and Thorgan look at each other, and they sort of look at the clerk who's just been sort of, like, rocking on his heels by the door, like, pretending not to listen, sort of whistling to himself. But seems to just be kind of waiting for, like when a waiter, like, waits for your... Or, like, when a busboy waits for the tip at your hotel door. Sort of just waiting there, but also kind of listening. They both look at him, and he says, "Oh, you want me? I'll go ask. Blackthorn? You said Black Rose? Black what?
Blackthorn.
Ah, yes, I will go ask about the Blackthrones. Right now. I will go send a message." And he rushes out to send a message.
Much obliged.
And Thorgan says, "Well, you made short work of it, and we thank you for it. The entire continent will be thanking you for it before long as the news spreads. But you all appear to be... You all smell like you've rested upon a barge this night."
We smell like it?
You are still covered in what appears to be blood and mud yourself.
We are smelling a little ripe, I must say.
Well, let us not keep you.
Just evidence of a hard day's work, that's all that is?
Seraphina starts prestidigitating the group.
Please, no need for all of that. In this hall, you are heroes. You may, of course, take your rooms that you were staying in. We've kept them for you clean, but you're welcome to go to your rooms and have a rest, have a bit of a day off. We will see to finding out about your family, Miss Blackthorn, and we will gather what news we can as the light rises this morning, and we will report to you anything we find, but I fear the threat is now off your hands.
Should you need us for anything else, we're always here to help.
Of course, we will let you know, and we will check in with the Middle Continent as needed. We will send messages to every one of the nations and let you know where and when things are happening. But for now, rest. We will take it from here.
Eidos will bow, turn, grab a bottle of wine off the table, and oh, it's breakfast. 2 bottles of wine, and then go to his room.
Absolutely. They like a little giant's servant, like a child giant, still like a good foot taller than you, like comes over with like a big old jug of orange juice for you, so that you can make yourself mimosas with your red wine bottles. Breakfast is important. And rushes off.
It's key.
Bula's looking for food. She needs something to eat.
Yeah. You're welcome to either follow your nose or one of the many little gnomish clerks will kind of direct you all back to your rooms so you don't get lost in the forge, and they'll like take breakfast orders if you would rather eat in your room, or they point you in the direction of sort of the general food hall cafeteria type room.
She's gonna have it ordered to her room because she wants to take Marroway to rest, to lay down.
Okay. And your rooms are all sort of in the same long kind of hallway, so you can all still kind of be together, even if you all just want to eat breakfast in your room, relax, sort of debrief together. If you would like to do that, that's easy enough. That's easy done.
Yeah, I think Seraphina's gonna try to find a bath, like a bubble bath.
They point you right to the hot springs. It appears to be, it appears that it's not like, they tell you it's the hot springs, but upon walking in, you can tell that it's gnome-made, man-made. It would seem that they've built a large basin, a large stone basin, sort of public bath pool at various intervals around the room, so that the main one in the middle is like almost boiling hot, because it is directly, the stone basin is directly above a fresh magma flow, an active magma flow. So the magma is sort of steaming the room. It's like a big sauna bathroom, with little private pools, and you can go to one further away if you want a cool bath. You can go to one closer if you want a hot bath, or you can be in the big central hot tub. And it seems some people are there in the morning just getting ready for their day. But it's quiet, it's peaceful. There's a little bard in the corner playing a lute.
Ooh, this is nice. Seraphina's gonna take a soak and put an order in for, also a mimosa. Sip on that.
Would you like a red wine mimosa like your friend is making, or would you like a classic, a glampane from the glampane region of Lena Mirna?
I will take the glampane version.
Glampane it is. We will be right back with that. Would you like some fresh cold cut fruit? Perhaps some breakfast sushi, a bao bun.
Ooh, breakfast sushi. Yes, that sounds so strange, but yes, that sounds lovely.
They rush off to get you some food and drink while you disrobe for your bath. You're offered like a hot steamy towel. You're offered some cucumber water with cucumbers for your eyes. They're doing you up right here. Anybody else?
Seraphina loves
that. Anybody else not going to? You guys see Seraphina just say, "Where are the baths?" and veer off. And are the rest of you just going to your rooms? I assume Killian probably will be to get out of his armor, clean his sword, all the things, clean off the chain whip.
Read his novels.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I think he slept real good the night before.
I would imagine Marroway will.
Go ahead, Marroway.
I would imagine Marroway would definitely let Bula take him, but he's not going to go to sleep until Benji comes to try out whatever it is that he said that he was going to try to figure out.
Okay. Yeah, and I think Benji is sticking very close to you and Bula this whole time. So he kind of, he says, I'm feeling that I've learned more with you all than I've learned as a druid in my entire life in just a few weeks. So I think I have maybe kind of a creative solution to help you. I don't know that I can stop those nightmares, especially if someone else is causing them, but I think given some time, I could find something that could help you rest a little bit more peacefully and feel a little bit less exhausted, so that maybe then we can get to the real crux of the issue, if you will. I know that you told us, and he sort of like, I think it's really just you and Bula who are in his hearing. He sort of like drops his voice lower. And he says, listen, Marroway, I know that you've said that your home, where you grew up, is important to you. And I know I don't know the whole story. And I know that it seems maybe hopeless, but you all saved my home. And I don't think anything's hopeless. And I think a home is the one thing worth fighting for. So I think if there's a way that we can kill two birds with one stone, though I don't condone killing birds, I am a druid. Pardon my language. I just think it sounds like between what you've said and what Baba Morosa said, that the issue isn't that you're having these nightmares. The issue is what's causing the nightmares. And I don't see any way out of it for you except going and doing what you were supposed to do all along. And I'm not trying to overstep, and I apologize if I am, but I just want you to know that I think what I've seen of your friends, and I can speak for myself, that your home is our home. Because you are my home right now. And I think for all of you all, you're each other's homes right now. And that makes y'all closest kin. So I think your fight is our fight. And from what I've seen, I don't see there's any fight out there that this group of people can't overcome.
I hope you're right. I really do.
And you're tired, so you don't have to think
Please.
that deeply about it right now. I just know that I'm going to work on something to solve the first problem, which is getting you rested.
All right. What did you have in mind?
Well, I've been thinking, if there was some way for me to give you a cocoon to sleep in, or like something magic, to kind of hide you from whatever is tapping into your sweet little mind. I think maybe I could come up with something like that. Something to sort of cut you off magically from whatever is going on in Sanctuary. I don't know. I'm still kind of toying with it. You have to give me a day or two to really figure it out, and if it's safe and if it would actually work. I just want to give you a way to sleep soundly. And I think maybe if, like Baba Morosa said, it's a little bit more arcane, and like you said, if it's someone else tapping into you, I think isolating you from that a little bit would, even just temporarily, do the trick to get you firing on all cylinders again. What does that even mean? Cars don't exist.
The car.
I think I just had a great idea for an invention, y'all. Cylinders in a cart so that the cylinders make it go. But we're gonna need to dig up some old dinosaurs.
He's gone mad.
Benji's lost it. He's tired.
Well, I hope your plan for his sleep aid is better than whatever that was. But you better get on it, because 2 or 3 days or a couple of days, and he hasn't slept.
I know. Let me... Oh, he has like a very, like, just like when he just invented the car, his eyes go wide again, and he goes, they got that time room, right? Right here.
Yeah, I spent a couple days in there.
Yeah, I think so.
Let me hop on in there, and that way it's gonna take no time at all.
We'll get to getting.
All right, you're right. All right. He says to the little attendant, I just want like the biggest plate of bacon and eggs that you got. And I fear you misheard me. I said the biggest plate of bacon, giant size. Yeah, for the biggest giant. Yeah, give me that. Bring it to the time room. Also show me where the time room is. He like takes off with that gnome to go help get that ready in the kitchen. Marroway, I'm gonna cover you. Are you good? I'm gonna figure this out.
Bye-bye.
I'm gonna be gone for a couple days in my time, but no time at all in your time. I'll come see you soon. And he rushes off, leaving the three of you with one attendant, trying to finish taking your order. But I feel like Eidos has just been talking to this attendant about his very specific breakfast order. Is that accurate?
Yes, I have a lot of restrictions, so I'm just making sure that they get it right and repeat it back to me.
Yeah, and yeah, he's struggling. But by the end of it, you think he's got it, and you see Benji and one of the attendants rushing off, and you can catch up to Bula and Marroway as you head to your rooms. Okay. With that, you all separate out to start your morning right with a bath, with a breakfast, with a bed, and we are going to take a very quick break right here. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 10-15 minutes, so hit us back up at 9:35 Eastern Time, 9:40 Eastern Time, give or take, knowing me with technology. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Thanks for watching, friends. Don't go anywhere. We're back. I just sang the countdown for them. You could tell because we're all going. I'm going to take a very quick second to adjust one of our OBS screens here because I'm seeing a couple little small things I want to fix. So let me Oop, not that. Look at you all watching me do technology real time.
You
She's
did it.
doing it.
Hey folks, I'm out here looking for a
She's
job.
beginning
Hire
to
me.
believe.
Okay, that looks a little better. Okay. Welcome back, friends and foes. Thank you all for staying with us and watching us do our fun stuff. So, you guys have what appears to be, perhaps for the first time in a while, some true downtime. Not just on your way to the next mission, the next fight. You have a bit of an open world situation here in front of you. You are at Barak Forge. You have familiarized yourself with their many teleportation circles. This is a technologically advanced little society in the mountain of Barak. So, you have the world open in front of you. You have some goals on your plate. You have some things that you were working on before this drowned cult ever got in the way of your plans. So, you have some time to communicate with each other, figure out what your next steps are, knowing you have some goals to reach, personal and party-wise. But on this morning in Barak Forge, it is probably mid to late morning. You guys sailed through the night to get here and teleported right in, so it's probably like late morning. Seraphina, you're finishing up your hot bath. The rest of you have had a nice big breakfast, some varied mimosas, just some straight wine, if that's what you're looking for. And while not actually sleep for one of you, physical rest. So, you have the day in front of you. You know that any news that comes in will be reported to you by the giants and the gnomes of Barak. So you can kind of wait around to hear what news comes in about Nerdistan, about Ozaled, in the aftermath of this large push from the cult of the Leviathan. Other than that, though, you could be darn near anyone anywhere, especially on the Middle Continent, but there's a few teleportation circles outside the Middle Continent. And there's plenty of mages here who could help you get where you want to go, as far as building new teleportation circles somewhere. So, you have a lot of options here about where you want to spend a few days recovering and recuperating and figuring out your next steps. Anybody have any input on either what you're doing in this moment as you finish up your morning and your breakfast and feel truly rejuvenated versus where you want to be long term?
So, Seraphina in the bath, she's been soaking for some time now. The question is she pruny with her dragon scale skin?
Good question. Good question. Dragons, like a lot of lizards, even the parts of them that aren't actively scaled, if you know what I mean, they still have this sort of like very smooth, almost plasticky, leathery skin on the undersides of their feet, on their little soft part of their belly. So there is still some skin-like substance in places on your body. That being said, roll a medicine check to see not if you're pruny or not, but if you can get out of the water in time to not become pruny, necessarily.
Okay.
You recognize the prune point.
Yes.
Yes.
Am I rolling? Okay, 1 second. I'm sorry. Oh,
That's
there
okay.
you go.
Take your time.
Oh,
Oh. Oh!
Oh, man. All over the place.
I'm sorry. I'll go with the first one, which was, I guess, 18.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, you're able to recognize, like, you have this sort of reptilian texture to your whole body at this point. Very strange. Even the parts that are smooth are smooth in a way that skin is not. Doesn't have as much give. It feels a little nice because you almost feel like a little naturally armored. Just a little. Like the littlest nick isn't going to slice through a couple layers of silly thin mammalian skin. Like, you got a little bit something more going on. However, you start to feel like, just like, this humidity is just not doing for my skin what it did for my old skin. Like, I think I want to lay out on like a hot rock for a while. So you get to that point and you're like, okay, I feel refreshed, I feel clean, but I can tell I'm not exactly. I know I'm not a dragon. I'm Seraphina Blackthorn. Obviously, I'm not a dragon, just because I have these cool scales. And you're like, maybe I'm a water dragon, and then you're immediately like, no, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't feel right. Yeah, you get to
Okay.
that point.
All right, so yeah, Seraphina, she needs to redo her entire beauty routine because she doesn't know how to take care of this.
Okay.
So I think her quest is going to be just trying out different things, to figure out the best skin treatments for her new skills.
Okay, interesting. I'll have you roll either an Arcana, Nature, or Medicine check. And you're welcome to ask around to get advantage on this. You can ask some of the giants who are working. Like, there's these like very beautiful, voluptuous, like, they appear to be male giants, biologically male giants in drag. Very beautiful, though, with like impeccable skin.
Okay, so they look like
They're
they
the
know
ones
how to
sort of
take care
working, giving
themselves.
massages in the little spa.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like they know what they're doing, so I'm gonna get a consultation.
Beautiful.
I will go to them.
Darling, you are a vision.
Mm.
My goodness.
Thank
Your lineage must be impeccable, darling.
Thank you. This skin is new. I'm still getting used to it. I'm not sure what I think yet, but I don't really know how to take care of this.
Well, whatever it is already giving, but we can help you. We have many, many reptilian humanoids who come and go through Barak. No, you say many, not many. We have some. We don't get a lot of visitors, but regardless, we can help you. And they sort of take you into like a dry sauna, which is just like, you can see there's just like a little tiny like bubbling little magma pit just heating the room, but no, the moisture has all been sort of like really sealed out of this particular chamber. And they take you in there, and there's like clearly like this like big like channel leading up into the mountain. Why did we all just move around? Oh my gosh, how did that happen? Everything just went bonkers. Hold on a second.
Oh no!
Gosh, you were just about to get a spa treatment from giant drag queens.
Oh,
Terrible
did
timing.
you
Fix it.
resize? Did you resize the
I didn't
window?
do anything, no.
Oh, that's so weird.
Okay, that's okay. I'll figure this out. Hold on. Everybody, be patient. I'm gonna fix this. Somebody tell a fun story while I'm doing this. I can't talk and think at the same time.
Dane did confirm it is a Nigerian wedding.
That's
Dane
what
is at a Nigerian wedding, y'all, and he looks great. We're gonna have to post that photo of him on Instagram with his permission later.
I just want to say I saw that and I clocked it.
Yeah, you nailed
You
it
did.
right
You
off
clocked
the
it
bat.
immediately.
Okay. Sonny's been to a lot of Nigerian weddings, and it shows.
Am I crazy, or did we lose music too?
I can't hear the music
Okay.
ever. So I'm
That's
not
true.
sure.
That's true. Okay, got that music going again. Let's get back to it. This is going so well, guys. Dane was just complimenting me and saying I was killing it, and now this. Embarrassing.
Is he still in the chat? Oh no, he's not watching now, so he will never know that this happened.
He's at a Nigerian
good.
wedding. He's busy.
Yeah. Awesome. So we can just tell him that it went really well. That we
Nothing
did
went wrong.
technology so good without him.
Oh, there I am.
Thanks, Ados. Good job, John Paul. That was helpful. We're getting there. We're getting there. I don't know how that happened.
Welcome to the KD20 slide puzzle.
I am.
We are professional.
We're so professional, guys.
Dude, I
really
always
good at
hated
those.
these puzzles. These puzzles were the bane of my existence when I was a kid. I feel like they would throw them every now and then in like a Sega Genesis game, where it should, and they're like, oh, and now the final stage you have to unlock with a slide puzzle, or a couple of Disney games like that. And,
Yeah.
And they don't get stuck forever. They make no sense to me whatsoever.
They had those physical ones too.
Yeah.
Those were hard.
No, it's the same thing, but digital. It's I do not understand.
Son
I
of
just
a-
will do it randomly until I either.
You just
I
grab.
I didn't want to say anything because I was like, maybe she realizes.
No,
that
it's
I'm
fine.
not
We can just.
You be each other. Yeah, everybody, I'm going to put you in someone else's box, and you all have to play each other now.
Whoa.
Whoever
Oh,
gets
God.
Marroway for this session, I am so sorry for you.
You have
I'm
no
about to
idea
actually
what's
sucks.
going on.
No idea. I barely know what's going on.
Okay, so far so good. We're almost there. We're almost there, guys.
We're almost there.
Seraphina's getting impatient. She's waiting for her spot
The
treatment.
receptionists are pretty slow.
They're taking a long time.
No tip. What's
This is
happening?
Maybe
right
they're
now?
The most
maybe they
embarrassing
don't
thing
know
that's
what
ever
they're
happened to me.
doing. Maybe they don't know what they're doing as well as they lead on. Now they're like in the back, like researching.
Like how to take care of reptilian skin.
Yeah, they've literally never treated anybody except giants and gnomes.
Yeah. I think Eidos is outside of the spa, really interrogating them about breakfast sushi and exactly what that means.
There's a sushi, but there's like an egg in it.
They're trying to describe why raw pork is actually fine and not dangerous to eat.
No, absolutely not. Certainly not.
They're like, no, it's fine because we marinate it in soy sauce and this all. No. Please don't ever do that.
It's gonna be a no from me.
That's gonna be a no for me, dog.
Take that back to the kitchen right now.
They do leave it with some breakfast bao buns, which are delicious. Fully cooked pork. Fully cooked pork inside. Okay, we're back, people. I got this. So glad
That's
we
great.
had such a big grade. Thank you.
I'm proud
Okay,
of you.
where was I? Seraphina was getting some spa treatments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They do some research. They leave you waiting in the waiting room for like too long for someone who offered you a
Seraphina
service.
is very suspicious now.
Yeah. But they leave you in the waiting room. They leave you in that sauna room for a long time. And you're like, is this it? Is this what they recommended? Just one very hot, dry sauna? You like it. And you
her
realize
eyes. Yeah, go ahead.
you realize being in this very hot, dry sauna, Seraphina, the human, would be sweating. That's what you do in a sauna. It's for sweating.
Glow.
Seraphina, you realize I am not even a little bit sweaty. And at first you're like so proud. And then you're like, to cool off. Just full open lizard mouth. And you realize that is actually doing the trick. Wide
Clarabelle's
open
doing
mouth.
it too.
Clarabelle's doing it too, for sure.
We're just in there.
Just staring mouth open up at the light. Lizard basking, panting. And then eventually they come in and they have some like different little like metallic tools and things. They almost look like what you would like pick your pimples with, but they like start like picking little like bits of dirt from beneath like your more prominent scales and like really like getting in there and just sort of scraping you out and really exfoliating you. And that is what you needed. You realize like, oh yeah, that feels fresh.
Yeah. Her confidence is slowly being restored.
Yeah. And they're like, this is all you need to do to maintain this kind of skin. You need some dry heat at least once a week, if you can, twice a week. And then you need to get up under those hard to reach scales and really, really flush that out, clean that out a little bit. A good dust bath is fine. You can soak. In fact, you'll probably enjoy the feeling of the hydration through your membranes, but yeah, a good soak is fine, but good dry heat is going to be even better for you. But darling, you're going to be fabulous.
Perfect. Get Glitterbelle next.
They do. They give her a really great pedicure on all 4 feet. They they add some like almost like gold leaf foil to like the tips of her wings so that her wings really sparkle. She's looking fab.
Yeah. I want some like rhinestones on her claws.
Oh, we can do that. Do you want some like cherry blossom trees, some little like, cherry fig? Yeah, we got you. They do beautiful little intricate designs on 2 of the nails and rhinestones on the others. Very bedazzled claws. Okay, Seraphina and Glitterbelle spa treatment. That is what they are up to this morning. The rest of you back in the rooms. Anything you would like to progress in right now? Anything you would like to study, talk to someone about, learn about, plan?
I think that Eidos would be, while they're so close to this teleportation circle room, he would be focused on rounding out his list of teleportation circles because he just picked up that spell. And right now he just has this one memorized, the one to Barak Forge.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's trying to figure out what other ones he should figure out.
I-
Knowing that... Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead. I was just gonna say, I think you drew some of the others, right? You were able to like just copy down. You just didn't memorize them, right?
Oh,
I think
didn't
you
even
rolled high
say
enough. Sorry. I think you drew or like drew out some of the teleportation circles to other cities last time. So I think you have
okay.
access to some, but you've only memorized the Barak Forge.
Okay. I wanted to go talk to the others and get their input and see if there's a city that they would like me to memorize so that I'll always be able to do it.
Okay.
And knowing that Seraphina's indisposed right now, I'm just going to go ahead and pick up the Nerdistan circle, if that's an option.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I will have you do a roll to see. You can get Nerdistan down easily. Let's see how many others you can get in this time too, because it's not going to be hard to at least copy it into like a journal that you've got.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll either sleight of hand for your drawing skills, your copying skills. Like just a straight intelligence would be fine, or let's do like a survival would be your other option.
Oh, that gets me up to +1. 14.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, you can easily memorize Nerdistan because that's what you focus on. That's what you hone in on. So you can get to and from Seraphina's home city and your college city. I think last time I asked you, I'll have to look back. I know I wrote it down somewhere. Last time I asked you to figure out a couple cities that you would have memorized the first time. So this time I'm going to add, you can get 2 more cities down in your journal, their teleportation circle designs. So I'll message you after play. No rush to get that done right now. But I'll let you know so that you can decide which cities in the world that you would like to have teleportation circles to. Because there's, as far as capitals go, there's like one for every capital of every nation, and then some additional cities depending on why they're important. So you and I will kind of talk about that off camera.
Okay.
So you got a good amount of cities here. Anything else from anybody? Bula, Marroway, what are you 2 up to?
Just waiting on
Marroway's
Benji,
tired.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Okay.
He's just trying to keep him company and keep him awake, and she's, getting whatever he needs. Kind of waiting on him hand and foot, trying to get him pumped up and positive, and Benji's gonna come through, and this is gonna be fine, and we're ready, and it's good. We got this.
Okay. Marroway, are you going to resist her optimism, or whether that be consciously or subconsciously, or are you going to just let her cheer you up? Because I'll have you roll against each other if you're going to try and sort of ignore her and not let her get through to you. But that's up to
I don't
Marroway.
think he's going to resist it. I think he's trying really hard to lean on her at this moment and actually let her help instead of, hiding like he has been.
Yeah.
But I do think there is that place in his mind that doesn't know if Benji's going to come through, so is kind of mentally preparing for the fact that he physically will not be able to keep himself awake tonight. So his 2 options right now are Benji comes through or he goes to Sanctuary tonight.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do a contested roll. It's not going to be a bad outcome either way, but let's see how persuasive and how optimistic and encouraging Bula can be. So I'm not going to have Marroway roll against you. I'm just going to kind of set a lower DC, and I'll have Bula roll you can choose performance, persuasion, or insight for this.
Can she intimidate the goodness into me?
She can try, sure. Honestly,
Because all the rest of these are -1.
okay, go intimidation. Tell me how that looks, though. I want you to use intimidation, but you have to tell me how that looks.
You're gonna be happy!
So she's just gonna kind of, she literally takes the corners of her mouth and she's like, "It's fine. You're good. You're fine. You're good." She's like trying to put a smile on his
Trying to
face.
physically put a smile on his face.
She is. She's also giving a way over the top kind of smile to him at the same time, trying to let it rub off, and it's just a little menacing. It's
lot of
It's
teeth.
not.
It's the
There's a
same.
lot of teeth.
It's the same smile as when you're in a blood rage, having just cut down 5 squishy guys. Like, it's a big
Right.
smile, crazy eyes.
She's just trying hard. She knows that she can't necessarily change anything right now, but if nothing else, maybe she can just get his mind on something different.
Yeah.
So she is gonna try to intimidate him. Oh no, she doesn't do it. Altogether, that's a 7.
You're doing your best, but he's already been through enough intimidation. It all just slides right off him at this point because his dreams are the intimidating thing, even compared to you. He's not really scared of you or your
It does. She
crazy
realizes that
optimism.
that's just not working, and she says, "You know what? I mean, I think sometimes we have to try to be positive, but I also know that, it's like my grandma Maz always said, sometimes stuff just sucks like a straw. So we just have to sit in that. But at least you don't have to sit alone." And she just kind of puts a big burly arm around him, kind of squeezes him a little bit.
Alright.
She says, "We're all here for you, and we'll just sit in this pig pen with you."
Not too long, a little bit before noon, shortly after Bula sort of changes tacks, realizing that her intimidating positivity isn't working. And Benji shows up, and I assume your door is just kind of open to the hallway where all your friends are. There's not a lot of traffic here. Benji shows up in the doorway, looking very excited. He seems to have, like, gone outside for, like, a hike or something. Like, he looks, like, a little bit, I don't know if sweaty is the word, but, panting a little like Seraphina in a sauna. He comes in looking a little bit worn out, but a little bit excited. And he says, "I was on the wrong tact, Mr. Marroway. I figured it out. I know what I'm going to do for you. There's a spell, and I'd only heard tell of it through a couple of the elder druids in my circle. But I've been thinking and meditating on it. And there is a spell that I can't protect you from someone trying to get into your dreams, but I can change your dreams. I think it would take a lot of trust between you and me. Because I want you to be willing for this to happen. And I want you to know that, of course, I'm never going to do anything to hurt you or harm you or make you feel afraid. But if you have that for me, if you can trust me, you could willingly let me manipulate your dreams for you. I'll kind of have to switch my sleep to wake schedule so I can make sure I'm doing everything right for you. But if you can trust me enough, I think I can.
Trust you.
I think I can change what you're seeing a little bit. We're gonna have to do it nightly though, but I think it's gonna help you sleep. You trust me, okay? He sort of like blushes a little, goes a little bit more purple, and okay. Well, if you're sure, I don't want to mess up your sleep schedule, but we can decide if you think we have enough time, a couple days maybe, to rest. I'd be happy to let you sleep during the day and be awake at night, or I can sleep during the day and let you sleep at night. I'm gonna leave that up to you. You're the one who needs to sleep.
Ike looks to Bula. See what she thinks.
Well, I'm not rightly sure what would be the best there, honestly.
I will sleep at night.
Alright. Then, tonight, if you're amenable, I'll come in at sundown and we'll get this thing going, and we'll see if it works. Bula, you can be here with me the whole time, if that makes you comfortable, and keep an eye on everything and make sure that we're both safe, because I'm going to need someone to keep me safe while I'm keeping him safe in his head.
Yeah, absolutely. I got that covered.
I assumed as much. That's why I like you, Miss Bula. One of the many reasons. Okay, well, that being said, Marroway, we got half a day ahead of us. Do you need anything right now? You got to try and stay awake till tonight so that you can get a full night's sleep tonight. So I don't want you to be taking a nap or anything.
No, I'll be fine.
Well, then how about we get you out into the woods, down by the river, and just take a little rest where the sun can hit your face, and you can get a little reacquainted with the good parts of the world.
Okay,
Yeah?
we can do that.
You sure? Bula, please come join us if you want to. I think if we're going to keep you awake, we might as well do it somewhere pleasant.
Absolutely. I don't think he can walk any better than a newborn deer, so I'm always here to hold him up.
All right, let's just take a little stroll, see what all this nature has to say for itself. I don't often get to explore different woodlands besides the ones on the eastern continent, so I'm looking forward to it. And he sort of helps. He sends one of the attendants off to pack up like a picnic lunch kind of thing. And as soon as it arrives, he says, "Let's go have a little exploration." And he takes you both out into the woods around Dagdahorgan, which is a lovely little woodland. Back to Eidos. What's Eidos up to this morning?
Having studied enough in the teleportation circle room, I think that Eidos will probably sit down at his quarters and pour himself a nice glass of wine and pen a letter to
Jade. Is it Jade?
Jade.
I took a wild guess. Who's been writing letters to? Jade. It's been too long since we
I
played,
love
y'all.
whose name I can't remember.
Yes, yes.
She's so pretty. What was her
Seraphina
name?
can relate.
Oh, yeah. Monica.
Seraphina just never knew.
And he kind of uses it as a way, like almost as a journaling session where he's writing his own thoughts to figure out what he means, and also reaching out to somebody who he knows is a safe place, because he feels like he's running out of safe places these days. So yeah, just trying to calm his spirits.
Cool. Yeah,
And
I
also
think.
say what's up.
And also say, "What's up, girl? You up? Hey, you up?"
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. You've moved around pretty much every time you've written Jade a letter thus far. Are you going to send her an address to write back? She hasn't been able to really, write, snail mail back to you. Because you've just been moving around so much. But will you give her a location that she could send an email to? If she wanted to respond. Or is that something you'll leave out conveniently?
I think I make special mention of writing to you from Barak Forge, or writing to you from Santapelli.
Okay.
Wish you were here kind of situation, like
Yeah.
a postcard.
Yeah.
Where it's obvious where I am, and if
But not
she
where you will
hurried-
be.
Yeah. If she could hurry, then she would
Be able to
find me
word
here.
back.
But who knows
Okay.
how long I'm going to be here? Like
Okay.
Livingstone, Yeah.
Yeah. Your letter, roll a persuasion or I'm trying to think of what's just so smooth. Persuasion.
I have a +8 for persuasion.
Do
so
a
I'm gonna
persuasion
go
check.
with- Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see how smooth this letter is.
It's 23.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Even in your journaling, you're very suave. You make yourself sound humble, but you're bragging.
Yeah. A little humble bragging.
A little humble bragging, yeah, in a hot way.
Telling you wishes that he could read this.
This would be an amazing novel for Killian to read.
I think
A slow
after
burn.
every I think after every clever little turn of phrase, Eidos will look over at a mirror next to his bed and just kind of catch his own eye for a bit, and then continue writing. So
Yeah.
as if to say, "Good job, me."
Give yourself a little nod, yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. She's gonna love that.
Okay.
Amazing. I think on Bula and Benji and Marroway's way out into the woods, you see Killian on his 8th lap of his jog. He's actively working out, shirt off. Still has his chain on his hip. Doing a run. Casimir running alongside him, looking majestic.
They both have headbands on, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Casimir is actively wearing a workout headband. Yeah, for sure.
Bula's like, "Do you ever stop for a snack?" As they go past.
I ate my protein this morning. I'm good. Took my creatine. I'm all right. And he just keeps running. He's working out. Okay, Seraphina, anything else you want to get done in Brock Forge today?
Yeah, Seraphina is just going to be spending the day at the spa, getting a massage, trying to see what kind of facial she would need. But yeah, she's going to enjoy her time with Glitterbell.
Nice. I'm gonna rip my shirt. Okay. Yeah, you guys take a day to relax around and in Dagdahorgan. So, sorry, Brock Forge, not in Dagdahorgan anymore. And Bula and Marroway out on the mountainside in the woodland, these like high alpine woodlands after the volcano sort of gets to the lower elevation. You all have a nice picnic out by a little bubbling creek and just take some time in the sun. It's a beautiful sunny day here in sort of northeastern middle continent area. And you can see the mountain range that you guys are in. This whole nation seems to be mountains. And it seems like that is a big reason why Barak Forge is both so well protected and so closed off to anybody outside of very serious traders and people selling their amazing arcane and mechanical devices. So you kind of get a lay of the land.
I think that as they walk around and she's in the mountains more and in this area, Bula's going to start to get just a little bit fidgety. She tries to hide it. She doesn't want anybody to really notice, but she's a little closer to home than is comfortable for her.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can almost like...
I feel you there.
Feel those southern low-lying hills and mountains where your family is from. You can almost smell it in the air here. It's the closest you've been to home in a while. And this is the first time you've been outside Barak Forge, where you could really almost... You feel like if you climbed the tallest mountain, you could almost see to the Marburn Mountains.
Yeah. She just starts to get a little twitchy, occasionally gets a little distracted looking off in the distance, and then, I gotta pay attention. I gotta... That doesn't matter. It doesn't affect me now. It doesn't matter. And she just tries to keep herself less nervous and
Marroway, do you want to roll a
more
contested perception check against her, or insight check against her deception? Or Bula, are you
right
not
now.
hiding it that much from him?
I think that he is not. She does a pretty good job, but besides that, I think she could probably tell him I don't feel good, and he might not hear it because he's so exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we won't even roll for it.
But she really is trying to hide it from him because she doesn't want to add to his stress.
Yeah. I think you're able to just because he's so tired. He's really... Benji and you are both kind of putting in work, trying to point out different little cute animals, different plants around the area, little flowers that you see, trying to keep him active and engaged.
Mm-hmm.
How the roles have reversed for us, Bula.
I know, right?
Okay. And the day, slowly the sun sets. Some of you watch it out in the woods. Some of you don't watch it at all because you're getting more spa treatments. And some of you go back to drink as the afternoon rolls on. And the air quickly becomes more chilled at this elevation, but inside the forge, nice and toasty from all that fresh magma. And you are coming in tonight. And you know, Marroway, when Benji finally turns to you with kind of a sigh and a little bit of a nervous look. You about ready to head into bed? Let's give this thing a shot. I don't want to get your hopes up too much. This is a whole new spell for me, but I really think I can give you a night's rest. At least.
I'm ready.
Alright, Miss Bula, let's take him in.
All right.
And
Give it a go.
3 of you head back up the mountain and enter Barak Forge through the main gate and make your way to the rooms.
I think before we do anything for the spell, Marroway is gonna grab his chess pieces and kind of set them out on a table. You would see that what he has still is a king, a queen, a knight, and a bishop, and 2 rooks, one of which that is broken. And I think he's got kind of the rook and one of the knight pieces separated from the other 2. Or from the other 3, I'm sorry. And he's just gonna let those sit for a moment.
Benji sort of silently watches you and sort of makes himself busy preparing. He pulls out what looks like a handful of sand or something, some kind of coarse dirt, dry dirt, and pulls out a little ink vial and a writing quill and starts sort of preparing the spell itself as you're setting up your chess pieces where you want them. He sort of looks at Bula and says, "It's not really going to need much active participation on your part. You're welcome to doze off, take a rest, do what you need to. I'm just comfortable having you in the room with us in case anything pops off here in Barak. I feel safe enough here to manage this, but I want to be able to focus at least on this first time that we're working on this."
He kind of perches on the bed, just to keep a close eye, and she's gonna kind of post up here with one hand on her legs.
I picture you in like a deep squat, all the way down, not sitting,
she's not,
but all the way down, just ready to go.
She's not gonna like try to fall asleep, but she's just gonna kind of be ready.
I think for the first time, Marroway is going to lay on the bed instead of under it. Since, all these spells are going on. But I think he is going to grab as many extra blankets as he can to kind of act as a physical shield for himself.
Yeah, absolutely. You hear Benji start talking in a low, quiet voice, and it feels like a spell's incantation. And you feel the arcane energy in the room rise as he starts this spell. But he's not using sort of the arcane language of spellcasting, nor the druidic language. He's just telling you a story about his childhood. About him and Nomi running through the woods well before their village was drowned and attacked. Before all of that, one of his earliest memories of him and Nomi, with his parents' voices hollering in the background, joining up with a few of the neighbor kids, and running down to the ocean side and boarding some little hand-carved canoes that they had all made together that week, and trying to figure out if they can beat their last record of that farthest rock. Can we get further before the waves push us back? Are we big enough to paddle that hard yet? And he's sort of telling you this story about the sea turtles that came up and started swimming alongside them, and that gave them that little bit of extra push to go a little bit further, to see a little bit more of the world than they'd ever seen before. And the sight of their mother, who had finally approached the beach after chasing them down, standing there looking stern but lovingly out across the ocean at them, but clearly proud of her children as she watches them paddle away from their village, knowing that the waves will push them back in when the time is right, and knowing that they're strong enough, that they've done all this work themselves, that they are, and still are, the future of their village. A village now long gone. And he tells you about the jokes Nomi told, and about the neighbor kids, one of whom decided to stand up in his canoe to show off that he could rock it back and forth and fell into the ocean. And that they all made fun of him and called him salt hair for the rest of the year. And it's a bedtime story for you, but within it is interwoven this dream spell. And you can feel yourself drifting off to sleep. Do you try and fight sleep right now, or do you trust him, and do you listen to this story wholeheartedly to let yourself be outside of your body?
I think in this moment, he is so delirious with exhaustion that, he doesn't have that, self-control filter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think his hand is just gonna grab Benji's hand as he allows himself to fall into slumber.
And you can feel the intermingling of your different but ultimately same druidic arcane energy and your souls in that moment through that physical touch, that connection at your hands. You can feel that last little tether sort of make itself known between you two as you drift off to sleep. And for the first night in many nights, uncountable nights, you start to dream, but it's a peaceful dream of a canoe softly rocking on open water, but with family and home right there on the horizon, right there where you can still go back and reach them. And it's peaceful, and the sun is warm, and the birds are cawing. And it's not your own memory, it's not sanctuary, it's not your home and your family waiting on that beach. It's not your community that you are now the last vestige of. It's Benji's. But you can feel him allowing it to be your memory now too. And that, although it's not your own memory, it's so similar to what you want and what you had and what you dream of having again. We all just rearranged again. But you have a dreamless night of sleep. And you may take away 1 point of exhaustion.
Yay!
Yay.
It's been a while since I've heard that.
And now that Eidos is the DM, we're back! Woo! I didn't even have to change anything. And with that, Marroway, upon waking up in the morning, and you realize you remember that dream, but that's the only dream you remember. How do you feel?
I think there is such a weight lifted off his shoulders. That, like, you know that ugly cry you do when you're, like, laughing with joy?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of where he's at. Where, you know, he's had these little glimmers of hope before, but he's not being hunted now. He had a night where everything that he hated about his life was absent. And I think as soon as he wakes up, he would leap up with what little bit of strength he has with his still very exhausted body to just grab Benji and hug him as hard as he can, forgiving him what physically he couldn't even dream of attaining himself.
Yeah. You open your eyes to do so, to snuggle in close to Benji, who still has that grip on your hand, that big, warm, strong grip around your hand. And you can see he is resting peacefully, eyes closed, in the watery early morning light coming through the window before the sun is even breached over the tree line. You can see him, and on the other side, you feel Bula snoring away. like really pressed against the wall, fully at 90 degrees, but like sleeping, still making contact with you on the other side. And you pull Benji in for a big hug, and he opens his eyes, because he wasn't sleeping, he was helping and making sure your dreams stayed peaceful through the night. And he pulls you in tight, wraps his big ol' arms around you, and just puts his chin on the top of your head. You sleep good?
Better than ever, I think.
I was hoping, though, that's one of my favorite dreams. So I thought that'd be a good one to start you off with. I'm sure they're just gonna get sillier as time goes on, but I hope it helped.
He did. A lot. I think he's gonna look over to the nightstand where he had placed the chess pieces, and he's gonna reach over and grab one of the rooks. This piece represents safety. It represents comfort. to the king piece. This is the same piece that when he had made the mask for the masquerade ball that he had put into it. If you are really wanting to help me get my home back, I want you to have this. It might not look like a lot, but where I come from, it carries a great deal of weight.
He wraps his big paw all the way around it after taking a moment to look at it. He's seen it plenty of times to know what you're giving him. And he just fully engulfs it in his big hand, holding it in his palm, warming it, and holds it to his chest while his other arm is still viced around you. I'm going to help you. I don't just want to. We're going to figure out how to help you. It's not a matter of if, it's when. I know Bula was trying to force that thought into your brain yesterday in a bit of an intimidating way, but she's right. If there's anything Bula can do, it's help you.
I really hope you're right.
And if I'm not, hell, we face worse. No, maybe not. I don't know that for sure. But I'm not afraid of whatever comes next. Whether we succeed or fail, we're gonna try.
You might change your mind when you see my nightmares, but I appreciate it.
I got a small glimpse of what I was fighting off last night. So I agree with you and I believe you. I don't know what we're about to face. But it's gonna be worth it if it helps even a little.
Thank you.
At this point, Bula just kind of like snorts real big and like sits up and is like, "Don't let the ham eat the eggs." And then she falls back asleep.
And I think Bula sitting up hollering that wakes up Seraphina and Eidos. Even if you don't quite wake up, you hear Bula sit up and yell that. And I think Eidos, your immediate thought is, don't eat raw pork. Don't eat the breakfast sushi.
Those idiots did it anyway.
And you all wake very refreshed in another morning in Barak Forge. And that is where we're going to call it for tonight, babies.
Yay!
What a dream. What a dream.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. That was a lot of roleplay. You guys killed it, as usual. Love it. Okay, you have some planning to do before next session. Where will the Knights of Tuzenkin go next? That's what I want to know. So we're going to come on back here next Monday, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, every Monday. We will see you all then. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy. We love you. Thank you for watching. Mwah! You're all so beautiful and lovely, inside and out. Everybody have a good week. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.